The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is Cowboys StoryLine with Nick Eatman.
Welcome to Talking Cowboys. I'm Nick Eatman here. We are changing shows here on DallasCowboys.com. Chris Bean was giving me a trivia question, and he forgot to switch it to StoryLine. That's what we do here. We're switching it over. Now it's Cowboys StoryLine. I just wanted to make my debut on Talking Cowboys for like a few seconds. Here we are, Cowboys StoryLine. I'm Nick Eatman. Friday, December the 6th. Cowboys and Bengals, Monday Night Football. I was like trying to think like we had a game this week. We still have another day, another weekend, but this will be our last show before the Cowboys take on the Bengals. I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear what you think. All week long, I've been kind of seeing a little optimism here. Cowboys can win this game, maybe, perhaps. You know, it still comes down to you got to beat. I said this on the radio, 105.3 fan. They asked me about my pick for the game, and I just said, you know, just go beat a 4-8 football team at home. I mean, seriously, just go. You're at home. You're playing a 4-8 team. I don't care what they look like, and maybe they're better than this and all that. They're 4-8 for a reason, and you know somebody over there is not doing a great job. So exploit that, win that game, and figure out how to win 3 straight. You win this one to get to 6 and 7. I think it's time to start. At least start talking about, could this happen just based off of what the schedule looks like and how it aligns here in the last before games after this one. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Got to go win this one here. All right. 888-855-2297 is the number to call. Chris said we had some callers on the line. Chris, do we have anybody ready to go? Robbie, Cocoa Beach, Florida?
You know it, man.
All week long, just consistency. 5 days.
Stability is availability.
That's right. 5 days in a row now. You've called, and which is fine, Robbie. It's fine. Don't get
I'm not
mad.
being defensive.
Okay. Oh my God, you scared me yesterday. No. What's going on, man?
Man, first I want to give a shout out to the president, man. Feel bad for the guy. And you know what? After reading the stuff that I think No-C did it, I think he'll be back next year. At least I hope so.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll just get right for him, get his legs right, his ankles right, shoulder.
I have some thoughts on that. I'll say it after you get off the air. But yeah.
All right. Well, I'll keep it quick today, and that's all I wanted to do. And okay. I think, like I said yesterday, I think we win 31-21. I think our defense shows up big, man. I think we're going to we got that swagger. We're going to. With DeRon Bland and Trayvon back, I think we're going to put it to him a little bit.
Okay. Hey, what a great week to have those guys back. Thanks for the call, Robbie. Yep.
Yes,
thanks
sir.
for a week of calls here, all 5 days. Really, really good. Not easy to do. A lot of people probably think you have like the magic number, which Chris Beam has informed me there is no such thing. But still, to get in for 5 straight days, good stuff. Some of them were the first caller, some of them were the last caller. But good stuff today, talking about Bland and Diggs, boy, with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and of course, Joe Burrow at the quarterback spot. What a great time to have all of your corners back, if that is the case. And so you're going to have to, not only going to have to kind of minimize them, but you're going to have to figure out ways to score on the other end. And the Bengals defense will allow that. And let's not forget this part, too. It's not just the Bengals defense. I mean, yes, they're putting up a lot of points, but they'll turn the ball over, too. Pittsburgh didn't score. Their offense didn't score 41 points. I mean, their defense had a touchdown as well. So I don't think Cincinnati's offensive line is the greatest. I think the Cowboys can get after them, and that's going to be the key. Not just Micah Parsons, Carl Lawson. He spent some time in Cincinnati. Had his best season in Cincinnati at 8.5 sacks his rookie year. So I'm sure he would be excited to have a big game as well. You mentioned Zack Martin. He announced yesterday he is going to have ankle surgery and his season will be over. And then the next question is that it for his career? His contract is up after this year. He does have an option where if he wants to try to exercise that in the Cowboys, they can figure out something there to play next season here in Dallas. I guess he could always go and play somewhere else. Having the surgery right now makes me think that, because he is having it next week, it makes me think that he's given himself a chance to come back and play. Because you could just say, all right, I'm just going to be on IR, and then we'll see when I want to have surgery and all that kind of stuff if you're not really worried about a timetable. But to have it right now, at least he's given himself the chance to do that. After he spoke in the locker room yesterday, there was a lot of people talking to him, shaking his hand, thanking him for his time here. And I was standing there, and he kind of looked at me, and I just said, no, we're not doing it. He actually had his hand out. Zack Martin had his hand out to shake my hand, and I said, no, we're not doing this. Not right now. No, because I'm not believing it. Not out of disrespect, just out of we're not here yet. This was just an interview. Season's over. When it's time for him to call it a career, and maybe that is the case, we'll definitely shake his hand for sure. He's been one of my favorite players of all time. But as of right now, it's like, no, you just get right, and we'll see you here next year. That's just kind of the mentality that I'm thinking here. All right, Brian in Kansas City is next. Brian, what's up, man?
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
Well, I called in to talk about the president in the room, too.
Okay.
I thought maybe just everybody give a favorite memory, and I'll give mine. My favorite memory, and I think this was a decade ago, but of course you and Chris are going to know exactly when you did this, but the digital content team created that series called Mean Tweets.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody had to read one. Some of them were about the player themselves. Some of them were just generic. They all had great ones. I think, was it Carr? Carr kind of took an exception to his, and Romo did a funny one. But my Zack Martin memory is that. He's reading his mean tweet. I don't know if it was his rookie year or not, but he's reading his mean tweet, and it says, getting an offensive lineman in the first round is like getting socks for Christmas. And that's my favorite Zack Martin memory. And go Cowboys, and I'll hang up and listen, friend.
Well, I'll say this. Better be some pretty, badass socks. I'm sorry, I'm watching. I didn't see this on the field with the Packers and the Lions after the game. I mean, are we rushing the field now? Is that what's happening here? This might have been before the game. But that's funny that someone said that about the socks and the offensive linemen, but that's actually pretty ignorant when you think about it. At that point, Tyron Smith, Travis Frederick, then Zack Martin. I mean, you built an offensive line that really carried this team for a long time in that whole decade. So if you can get one like that, certainly. Now, the Cowboys, and Tyler Smith, they've drafted him in the first round. It's been a pretty good pick. They drafted Tyler Guyton. It's been a tough rookie year for him, but that's not to say that he's not going to have. We knew this. We knew this was going to be that kind of season for him. We knew that it was going to be a learning curve. I think we expected maybe a little bit more production here, but. Going back to Zack Martin, his personality, he's never going to be the guy that's telling jokes, in the room, but he's still got a good, fun personality, and I just always like talking to him. He just got a good perspective on things. He just got it. He just understood. My favorite part, this was his bit. They didn't play a lot of noon games around here. When you're winning, you don't get a lot of noon games, but when they did. And there's probably some times that Chris Beam was in the locker room for this when they would win the game and the game's over, and then somebody would say, Zack, what time is it? And he would just say, guys, it's only 3:15 or 3:22 or whatever it was. They're just so excited, like he still have all this time in the day left to go, and before they had to get back on Monday or whatever. I don't know why that was his bit, but that was the thing. Zack would always tell the team what time it was, and it's still time to obviously do what they had to do on Sunday. But again, not a lot of noon games for this team. All right, let's go to Jeremy in D.C.
Hey, yo, Nick.
What's up, man?
How you doing, man? How you doing today?
Good.
That's good, man. You staying out of trouble?
Yeah. I thought you might ask me if I heard anyone today, and I'm not sure. We'll find out when I get back home, but I don't know if a squirrel made it or
early,
not.
man.
There was a squirrel that was not too squirrely as he was going through, and I don't know. We're gonna have to see. I don't see how he's doing, but I might have clipped him there this morning. Move, squirrel. All right. Sorry. I figured you might ask me if I heard anyone. I was like, yeah, maybe a squirrel at the house. But we'll see. They're resilient.
All right, I'll check in with you on Monday to check on the squirrel.
All right, we'll check on it. We'll check on old Squirrely. So.
All right. Yeah, so I got a couple of things. What I forgot to ask you yesterday, well, it was more of a statement than a question. It's kind of both. But I'm like, do you think we got a real problem on our hands in this cornerback room? Because we got Bland, Diggs, Jordan Lewis. Carson was playing good up until he tried to take on Derrick Henry and hurt his shoulder. And then we got Butler. McQuamu was playing pretty good. But I think half of those guys are free agents, right?
Probably some of them. I mean, including Jordan Lewis. You can't see me probably right now, Jeremy, but I'm shaking my head as much as you could possibly shake someone's head. Like, problem? No, this is not a problem, okay? A problem is when you sign a guy that you cannot pronounce, his name is Oruwariye, and then you have to play him in the middle of the game because Booth is not playing well, so you have to play Oruwariye against Malik Neighbors, and he makes an interception to save the game. Like, that's a problem. Practice squad to the starting lineup in 1 hour, like, that's a problem. So the fact that Oruwariye can play, and you didn't mention him, but he's coming back like this week, right?
Yeah,
when Butler's gone. Yeah, he's a solid player. But no, you cannot have too many good corners. And it's absolutely not a problem, especially the way people play today's NFL with 3 receivers, 4 receivers. No, I don't think it's a problem. It'd be a great thing to have. But you got to remember, I mean, Diggs and Bland haven't played 1 snap together this year. So these guys are getting banged up. Lewis missed the game. So, no, it's not a problem to have. It's a good problem to have that many corners and to have to figure out, who do you play and who do you not play. So,
all right,
man.
Do you think, I got another quick question. Do you think if we could bring, like, Dalvin Cook back and then draft another running back, that way we got Rico, Dalvin Cook, and then we got the fresh leg with like a little a speed type of guy, and then we can really get physical with people, you know what I'm saying? And then my last thing is, hypothetically speaking, and I'll take this one offline, hypothetically speaking, do you think it'll be good if we could trade for a defensive tackle, like one of the draft picks? Like, if you could trade a 3rd-round pick or something for, I'm just going to throw out a couple names, like a Vita Vea or a Dexter Lawrence or somebody like that. Would you do that? And then I'll go on the other end and listen to you for that, Nick. Oh, and my number for today is 33, Dorsett.
All right. Sounds good. 33, Dorsett. I mean, there's no other 33. Okay, so yeah, he's the only 33 that really matters. I do remember we had I think Nate Jones wore 33. I think
that's correct.
Nate Jones did wear 33.
He still wears 33, actually.
As a ref?
Yes.
Wow.
His ref number is 33 too.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
That's a good one. I didn't know that. Didn't realize that was his number. Yeah, Nate Jones knocked out Brett Favre in the game in 2007, which was actually not a good thing because Aaron Rodgers came in and almost won the game. I'm sure McCarthy remembers that one from the other side. But, yeah, that's the game that Jeremy plays, throws out a number, and then I'll throw out another player. Nate Jones. Jason Bell's another corner I remember. He played back in, like, 2001. But good things that you said. The one thing I absolutely do not agree with, though, is the Dalvin Cook part. Dalvin Cook, they can't get him on the field here on a team that can't run the ball. Nobody else in the league. There's been injuries around the league. Running backs, we see it all the time. If you play fantasy football, you know what's out there. I mean, like I guarantee you're like, man, should I pick up Deuce? I mean, like that's all you can do. There's nobody out there. That being said, in reality football, all these injuries at running back, and no one's knocking on that door to say, hey, let's get Dalvin Cook over here. So I don't think he's coming back to this team. Maybe not in any team. I don't know. I mean, this was kind of the prove it year for him. I don't think it's worked out. Obviously, he's not played much, and he hasn't been much of a factor. I think they need to get young running backs, fresh legs in here. Two of them probably to help. All right, let's go to Randy in Texarkana.
What's going on, brother? Let's keep this thing going.
How are you doing? Here we go.
That's for you and Mr. Carolina, USA. I hope he got his 10 irons to lay down. Come on. Keep it between the lines. All right, so this is where I see this game going. I think, this is just me, I think this game's more important to C.D. Lamb than it is the Dallas Cowboys. And what I mean by that is he already had a head-to-head with Justin Jefferson. I think that was last year, and he came out ahead in the numbers. And, he wants to be considered the best. Well, those two guys always seem to be the two, him and Chase, I should say, from the Bengals, are always the two they tend to throw out there a little ahead of him. If he can go out there and have him a really good game, they might want to start throwing his name out there with the two of those guys. But hopefully he doesn't go out there and land on the shoulder, get hurt. You know what I mean? But if he can go out there and show out, he can make a push for getting his name in there because they always, they're always going to say he's one of the top receivers, but they always say Jefferson and Chase.
Yeah.
If you listen to everybody talking, so I was going to see what your thoughts were on that.
Yeah. Thanks for the call, Randy. Appreciate it. All right, man.
Yep.
Keep it going over there. Chris just sent me a funny. The official trucker show of the Dallas Cowboys. It is. We're going to cause wrecks here, just honking at people. Like, why'd you honk at me? Well, I was on StoryLine. Don't you know? Yeah. The thing about that what you're saying, Randy, is last year was last year because it was a little bit more significant for him to have those head-to-head moments. I'm not saying that the competitive juices are not flowing anymore for CeeDee Lamb. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is who's the best at receiver and I'm this, I'm that. Like, the money talks, and it talked, and it's there, and it's in his bank account. So, he got that. He proved that. So whether he's the top, not the top, whatever, like, he's getting paid like it. So I don't know if he considers this game like, as a man, the macho part of it, like, yeah, you want to show that out. And I'm not saying that he doesn't, okay? But I'm just saying how much it matters at the end of the day, financially, probably not. But yeah, this is one of those showcase games. Because what happens is you know what? I'm taking it back. You're right, Randy. You're right. Because this is the thing. It doesn't matter from a contract standpoint, but the game will be over. SportsCenter will have this split screen, and it'll say Chase, 9 catches, 114 yards, and a touchdown. You don't want it to say 2 for 27 over here with CeeDee Lamb. You don't want that. Because then that's when they'll throw money out there and all that. So no. Maybe a big deal for Chase, but I think this is a big game for CD just because they need him, and he knows that. And he's playing through a shoulder injury. He says he's going to play. I respect that. I'm sure he could be in the shut it down mode if he wanted to, but he's not doing that. So I respect that. All right, let's keep it going here. One more before we go to break. Greg in Sacramento.
Hey, good morning, Nick. How are you?
Hello, Gregory.
So there was something I called in earlier this week, and I forgot to mention last week. That thing you guys did for the kids where you had them do the read at the end of the show last week, that was freaking awesome.
Oh, thank you.
First of all, I love that. That was so cool.
Well, that was my son, Jacob, and then Chris's two kids, and they and Presley and Logan, and they were in the back working with Dad, and Jacob was here, and then when they saw him pop on the screen, they were like, oh no, oh heck no, and so they came in here, and it was cool. That
was really cool.
Yeah,
I had my son Benji. We were listening to it the next day.
Yeah,
and he was like, "Who are those kids?" And I was like, "Those are their kids."
Yeah.
Like that's Jake. I think him and Jake are about the same age. You said Jake is 8, right?
He's 9. Yeah, he's 9.
Oh, he's 9. Okay. Yeah. Benji's 8, and I don't know if you remember, but when I met you this past training camp, you signed a ball for him.
Oh yeah, so, on the fence. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I was there.
I ruined that football, didn't I?
No, it was good. He loved it. Like every Cowboys game, he goes and gets his football that was signed by you guys, and he loves it, man. So I appreciate you for that, and I just thought that was really cool how you guys had the kids do the read. They did a good job. Tell them they killed it.
I appreciate it, and I don't know about at Chris's house, but at my house, like that night, that was Wednesday. We had Thanksgiving at our family's house in Stamford, Texas, and that got passed around a lot. Like that clip was shared on YouTube quite a bit. So I don't know what our ratings look like for that show, but it's gotten a lot of views, especially from the 9-year-olds. So all right,
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. Anything else, Greg?
I do. Just a quick question for you, and maybe you know, maybe don't. But can you let us know what your thoughts are of them not utilizing Turpin? Because we've seen Turpin's what he can do, right? Especially like in like a screen game or like a slant pass type of thing. So why is for me, I can't understand why they don't use him more, or at least the threat of Turpin, right? Like, can't they just at least have him out there for some plays to make the defense respect that he's there, and the minute they don't, they can just dump it off to him, and he'll go, use his punt return skills and kickoff return skills, and just take another one to the house.
Yeah.
No, like me, I can't understand why they don't do that. So that was the only question I had.
Well, I think it's a good question, Greg. Thank you for the call. His first year, I understood it. He was just coming back from the USFL. He was on kick return, learning the offense. Second year, getting more involved in the offense and doing some runs and catching the ball. His third year now, I think he could do it more. I don't think it's a whole. He's trying to learn it and he's got to figure it out. They don't want to put too much on his plate. No, he could do it now. I mean, they could get him more involved. I do think there's an agenda. They want to see Tolbert. They want to see Mingo now. Maybe Brooks, but there's nobody that has that kind of speed like Turpin, and I think this team just needs a juice, needs the playmakers, and even when he's not getting the ball, I think his speed is scary enough to get people's attention. So you can decoy him if you need to. He's got that kind of speed. I think it needs to be used more. So I can't give you a great answer of why. I'd like to see it a little bit more there as well. All right, let's go to break here on Cowboys Storyline. We'll be right back. We got more calls to take here when we come back.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
We got big personalities. We got big hair, big belt buckles. We got fans all across this big state and enemies in every other one. We even got a big star on the 50-yard line. Smirnoff knows football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks home or away, we rally together. We cry together. And we always rally cry together because, most of all, we got big love for them boys. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
To Cowboys Storyline.
Celebrate the holiday season at AT&T Stadium. Get a tour of the home of the Dallas Cowboys. Plus, your photo with Santa and Mrs. Claus from December 10th through the 14th. So next week, check them out at AT&T Stadium. Limited inventory is available. Secure your tickets today. attstadium.com/tours. All right, back here on the Storyline Friday, December the 6th. Last show before the game, Monday night. We won't have shows Monday. No podcast there. Of course, we'll be at the stadium. They'll have the pregame live. We'll be at the stadium this week, and so make sure and check them out. And then watch the game if you want to. You know, I'm sure anybody listening to this show is probably going to be watching the game. Don't have to tell people that. All right, let's go to Josh in Chicago.
Hey, Nick, how's it going?
What's up, man? Chicago, Illinois, right?
Yes, sir, yeah.
Okay.
I'm active duty military, so I'm in North Carolina, but I always claim Chicago. But
I get it.
You know how it is.
I do, and I don't know if that's the way for a lot of cities, but I know this: if you're from Chicago, you're always from Chicago. It doesn't matter where you live. So yeah,
that's right. That's right.
Yeah. What's up, man?
Not much. So I'm kind of perfect week. I got 5 for 5 this week, first time.
You got 5 too?
I got 5 too. 5 for 5 this week.
Man. I made it such a big deal. Are you okay? I mean, that's cool. You're not gonna get defensive like Robbie did.
Thanks, Chris. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, I took some leave from work for a week. So just being at home makes it easier to call in than being at my desk. But
wow,
that's all that it comes down to. Just being able to watch on Twitter and or X and be able to call in.
Yeah. Well, I'm going back and I'm looking at it, and you're always kind of at the end too. Usually,
yeah.
Yeah, or sometimes middle. Well, I guess that one kind of slipped through the cracks. I didn't realize it was every day. I've been when you write Cocoa Beach down, you remember it. But Chicago, But hey, good stuff. Good stuff. You guys showing some consistency. I love it. What's up, man?
Yes, sir. Hey, not much. I'm with you on Zack Martin. I'm just going to wait and see how that one plays out. I hope it's not the last we see of him, but more importantly, I hope he wins that Walter Payton Man of the Year award because that's really something and it speaks volumes to his character.
Yeah, for sure.
Game Monday night, so I'm going Cowboys 30, Bengals 24. My bold prediction for the game is I think we're going to have 2 defense special teams touchdowns. I think Turpin's getting one, and I think we're taking one back to the house, whether that's Diggs or Bland. I don't know who, maybe Lewis, but one's going back to the house too. And I'll get off the air, Nick.
All
Good
right.
talking to you. Go Cowboys.
Good stuff. 30-24. Seems like an overtime game, with a touchdown at the end. How cool would that be if you won? I mean, that would be awesome if you had a kickoff return in overtime to win the game. And somebody like Turpin doing that, but yeah, I could see some defensive touchdowns here, and it all starts with the pressure. You look at Pittsburgh scored last week, and I think it was because of pressure. I mean, they got a sack, fumble, picked it up, scoop and score. That's what it's going to take. It takes that kind of stuff. That's where it starts. I mean, I think Bland and Diggs are really good cover corners, but I think the fact that they played, last season and the year before with Parsons doing his thing, I think that's where it starts, and that's what's going to have to happen in this game right here. And watch out for that left tackle. Is it Orlando Brown? Brown. I know his last name is Brown. He'll do a false start on you. They don't always call it. They showed it in the Pittsburgh game I watched, and they actually highlighted it. I mean, he will jump out there first before that ball snapped. So I'm sure it's something that the officials will be alerted to. Whether or not they call it is going to be on to them. But watch that for sure. All right, let's go to Gary in New Mexico.
Hey, Nick, how you doing?
Good, man.
Okay, I've got a trivia question for you today that if you can answer this, then you are at an elite level.
All right.
All right, let's go back. Cowboys, Bengals, 1991, Week 7. Cowboys are hosting the Bengals at Texas Stadium. A Cowboy running back gives Dallas the lead with a 30-yard touchdown run. He wore number 46.
Ricky Blake.
Oh, you're good. Oh, that was good. Only touchdown the dude ever scored was in that game against the Bengals, but you're right, Ricky Blake.
Hey, I'll throw it back at you, and you might have it in front of you. What defensive player had a touchdown in that game?
Was it Dixon Edwards?
Sure was.
Yeah, he had an interception. I did not. That was straight off my memory.
There you go.
Did not have that in front of me.
And what was the score of that game?
1991, 35-23.
Is that right? I would have.
I think it was 35-23.
I would have said 35-24. But I mean, I think you're right. I think
the thing was 35-20. Oh, that was a great time, man. They were just starting to get going.
Yeah, it was fun.
It
was a fun season.
Hey, I got a bonus one for you real quick.
All right.
Which Cowboy legend comes from Cincinnati, Ohio?
Ooh.
Cowboy legend's hometown is Cincinnati, Ohio.
Man, are we talking like? Is he in the Hall of Fame?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, this is the greatest football player to ever don cleats, man. This is Roger Staubach.
Okay,
Cincinnati,
I didn't know that. I was gonna say Rayfield Wright. I didn't know that. I've never heard that in my life that Roger Staubach was from Cincinnati.
Yeah, Roger Staubach, hometown Cincinnati, Ohio. So anyway, all right, let's talk about this year's squad.
Yeah.
Monday night, man, isn't it nice? First of all, it's nice to still be having a meaningful game.
Right.
After the way the season's gone, to even be having a meaningful game at this point is impressive.
Agreed.
I don't know. I think the Bengals are better than their record indicates. I don't know if Dallas is as good as what we've seen the last 2 weeks. I just don't know, but we're going to know after Monday night.
Yep, I agree.
This is the biggest test, man, and if I don't know that they can, but I'm excited to see Bland and Diggs play together. They're going to need every bit of that to stop Joe Burrow. If they can figure out a way to win that game Monday night, then we can start looking at the tiebreakers and the standings and all that fun stuff. Yeah. But let's just see how it plays Monday night, man. But hey, I'm excited about it. It's good to have a meaningful game. Enjoy the show, and thank you for taking my call.
All right, thank you, Gary. I'll say this, and not to get too far ahead, but this if they beat the Bengals, let's don't gloss over anything. I mean, Carolina's playing. They're not playing well. They're not winning a lot of games, but like Kansas City went in there and needed last-second field goal, I believe. I think the Bucs went in there. It was overtime. And the Bucs, that would be after Carolina. They don't have a great record, but I know this. The Eagles have lost 2 games. The Lions have lost 1, and both to the Bucs. So they're doing something over there, and same with Carolina. So my point is that, you've got 3 games in a row that are winnable games, very losable as well. And so the Cowboys are going to have to just keep this thing going. It would be very, very Cowboys-like of this season to go beat the Bengals on Monday night and then go to Carolina and lose. So, again, what my point is, I'm not trying to get ahead of Cincinnati. I'm just saying, there's nothing easy from here on out. There's been nothing easy this year. And so this is going to be fun. But this game will be, I think, one to say, all right, I think we can get serious now. I mean, 6-7 is still going to be an uphill climb if they beat the Bengals, but it'll be to the point where, hey, they can go win this game. They go and beat Joe Burrow and this offense. Then I think that the sky's the limit for this team. Well, no, it's not the sky's the limit, but they should be able to keep winning as long as they stay focused with that defense, because it's going to be about the defense for them to win this game. All right, Dylan, Northport, Florida's next. What's up?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good. How are you?
Good. Been a little under the weather, but feeling better, so thought I'd call in. I heard you guys had a banger of Spaces the other night. Sorry I missed it. A little disappointed I wasn't there, but glad you joined in and had some fun, man.
Yeah, it was fun. It was cool because, like, on this show, there's a cast of characters. We kind of know who they are and what they're going to bring and all that. And then to go on to the Spaces, and listen to 3 or 4 others that I had never even heard before that can't call the show for whatever the reason. I mean, we got there's some characters over there too now that would be, they'd give Rob a run for his money if they called on here. Rob and Randy, it was that type of guys. So hopefully they can call in at some point too and add a little bit more flavor.
Yeah, Dave Young's one of those guys, man. I think Travis purposefully goes out of his way to set him off. It's hysterical. But they're a good group for sure.
That's right. Yeah, Dave Young, boy, he was bringing some heat there.
Yeah, I love him.
It was good.
He's a good dude.
Yeah.
He's gonna be one of the guys we bring down to training camp next year in Oxnard. That's the plan. He's gonna come with us, so that'll be cool.
That's gonna be insane if y'all do that. I can't imagine for that. And then we're
planning it up now. So
I mean, you could do spaces without even getting on Twitter. You could just that's basically what it'll be. It'll just be everyone sitting around and talking and drinking, probably.
Yeah.
So, all right, what's up, man?
For sure. I don't know if it'll be 90s style Cowboys parties, but it'll be pretty fun. Pretty good times. Yeah, so just real quick on Mike McCarthy about the Bengals. Mike McCarthy, if you want to move on from him, that's fine. I'm not going to say I'm for or against it. Just be prepared. 2025 probably won't be a Super Bowl competitive team at that point if you move on from Mike McCarthy. I think only twice in the history of the NFL, a first-year head coach has won a Super Bowl with his new team, and one of those was Gary Kubiak with Peyton Manning in 2015. So probably going to take a couple of years to get the system and everything you want in place from a head coach's perspective before you're really a true contender. So just keep that in mind. And then the game this Monday night, I think the best unit on the field is going to be the Cowboys defense that night. Now, Joe Burrow has been playing really, really well, and he has a ton of weird stats, and I'm sure they'll show him during the game where he's doing stuff that is historically good, but the team's still losing, which is a weird record they're kind of setting for how good they've been from the quarterback position, but still losing games. So that being said, I still think this defense, Cowboys defense, with all these guys getting healthy, is going to be the best unit on the field. Even against a bad Bengals defense, probably going to struggle to, put up more than 20 to 24 points on their own. So you're going to need some help in the special teams, some help in the defense, maybe a score, maybe some short fields. So my eyes are firmly placed on to be that best unit that they should be on the field Monday night. I think the Cowboys have a chance to pull one out here.
I did too. I like what Micah said. He was basically saying Joe Burrow should be the MVP of the league. I mean, how that good that he's been. Obviously not going to happen, but he said he's got to be the best player on the field. Of all the guys coming in, he has to be the best. And I don't disagree with him. He does have to be. He has to be better than anybody he's facing in front of him, the double team. And when he's doing that, it should free up Osa to do his thing, and Overshown as well.
Yeah, I agree, man.
All right. Stuff. Dylan, good stuff. Appreciate that. We're going to go to break here one more time on Cowboys Storyline. We'll be right back to answer a couple more calls.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
Altec Lansing has been perfecting sound since 1927, bringing you decades of audio excellence to elevate your Dallas Cowboys tailgate ritual. Equip your next pregame with the Sound Rover 180 with 6 hours of playtime, built-in microphone, multicolor light modes, and a rugged exterior that's built to last. Visit AltecLansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off your Sound Rover 180. That's AltecLansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off. Altec Lansing, official audio partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Cowboys Storyline.
The 2025 NFL Pro Bowl games are taking over Orlando, Florida. The roster is up to you. Cast your ballot for the Pro Bowl games. Vote. Send your favorite Dallas Cowboy players to compete in the ultimate AFC-NFC showdown. Vote now. ProBowl.com/vote. All right, let's go to the callers. We got a first-time caller here. Robert in Clarksville, Virginia. Robert.
Hello, Nick. How you doing, man?
Good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm in Clarksville, Virginia, which is about an hour north of Durham, North Carolina. But I am a Texas kid through and through. I went to Dallas Jesuit, lived in Allen, Texas. My dad used to take us to those Allen Eagles football games when we were little kids. They still had wooden bleachers.
Oh,
and
yeah.
now you know the stadium they have there.
A little different now, huh?
Heck yeah. But you and I have something in common.
Let's give him his here we go. Here we go. We got to go. Here we go. Okay. Now, what we got in common?
That was kind of the same as you in school. I was more about the Cowboys than I was about school.
Yeah.
I used to sit in the library there in Jesuit and read the Dallas Times-Herald and the Dallas Morning News sports sections in the study carrel when I should have been reading my books and doing my homework.
Yeah.
So we got that in common.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll be quick.
All right.
I got a comment. The idea that, a player comes off an injury and, it takes them a while to get back. They got to knock the rust off. They got to get their confidence back. I feel like the same thing maybe applies to coaches, and specifically with Zimmer. He wasn't coaching before this year. At least he was off a year or so, right?
Yeah.
Last game, I can't remember the moment, but they showed him on the sideline. And first part of the year when they were getting their butts kicked, I thought he just looked like a bewildered old man. But there was a moment in this last game when they showed him his face, I saw a glimmer in the eye of Zimmer. And I felt like he's back, man. I don't know if that's because his players are figuring it out or because he's figuring it out or if it's both.
Yeah.
But I feel like, there's been a lot of talk about how the defense is coming on. But I feel like maybe he just needed to knock the rust off a little bit. So that's my comment. I'd like your input on that. I'll hang up and listen.
I think that's a good point. Thank you for the call, Robert. Good to have you on the show for the first time. That's I don't even know if I've thought of it that way as far as, knocking the rust off a little bit. But I think more than anything, whether the rust comes from that, the defensive play caller he's got to figure out who's he calling plays for and what can they do? What can these guys do? He's got unique players. He said it himself that Overshone has a unique skill set. Parsons does as well. So how do you figure out the right way to utilize these guys, where to move them? Micah, when he came back, because he wasn't moving around his first 4 games as far as like where they were lining him up. Since he's come back, we've seen him all over the field, which means the rest of the guys are moving as well. We're seeing Mozzie play a lot better. We're seeing, the linebackers. I think Kendricks has played better here in this last few games. The safeties are playing, but I think they're all sort of buying into what he's doing. And when that can happen, when the guys are buying into what the coach is trying to sell, then he's just in his bag. Now he's just calling plays. He's having fun with it and all that. But as I say, look at the quarterbacks that they've faced. All the quarterbacks that they've beaten this year either are not the quarterback for their team right now, or they weren't the quarterback for their team last year, meaning that they were a rookie. Jaden Daniels, this is still first year for him. He's playing well. He could be rookie of the year. Could be. But, he's still a young guy and he was banged up. Justin Fields not the quarterback for Pittsburgh. Deshaun Watson isn't the quarterback for Cleveland. Drew Lock, I don't know if he is the quarterback for the Giants. He wasn't before. He's the third quarterback. He's Drew Lock. I'm missing somebody here. Daniel Jones is not even with the Giants anymore. Those are the guys that they've beaten this year at quarterback. So beat Joe Burrow Monday night, and then we don't have to talk about that anymore. That's the best pocket passer in the NFL probably right now. So go beat them. But I think that this defense is playing well enough where they can go do that. All right, let's go to Rick in Massachusetts. Rick, what's up?
Hey, Nick, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm at work as usual. I'm on my lunch break.
Okay.
But so I was going to say is that shout out to Zack Martin being nominee for the Man of the Year.
Sure.
And sad news that's getting going to be out for the year.
Yep.
Hopefully he comes back for a year just to stay, go out in the zone terms. But a couple of things. Heard that the last 8 weeks, Dallas Cowboys the Dallas Cowboys defense is like top 10. So that's promising. And my predictions, I think the Cowboys are going to win. I keep saying all week it's been 30-28. So that's what I'm going to go with.
All right. 30-28. I like it.
36, yep.
Yeah.
The last thing was I just thought of this thing. I was thinking of the Josh Allen play. This time I think it's going to be on defense. Diggs intercepts it, gets like this, and throws laterals it back to Bland, and he runs it in for a touchdown.
Would that be a pick six? I wonder how that would go there for Bland. I don't think it would be a pick six. It would just be a 6. I mean, he got yeah. I don't know if I've seen that play for a touchdown. I have actually seen that. I've seen that, but it wasn't with the Cowboys. It was the Falcons did that back when Dion had an interception like that, or Tim McKyer from the Falcons picked it off, lateraled it to Dion. I don't even know if that was considered a pick six. It certainly was a touchdown for Dion. But yeah, doesn't matter. Who cares? Who cares how it would be categorized? It sure would be cool to see. All right, man. Thanks, Rick. So. Yeah, usually how that worked on that play is that Cooper got the catch. Amari Cooper got the catch and then pitched it back. He got however many yards it was. And then from there, Josh Allen got receiving yards without a catch. So if it was 5 more yards or whatever, receiving yards. So he got – it's hard to do. It's hard to do to have receiving yards, a receiving touchdown, and no reception. So – Good stuff there. Zach in Germany will be our last caller. Zach, what's up?
Nick, what's going on, man?
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What's going on with you? We got a little bit of time on the show, so I hate to rush anybody from Germany, but what do you have for us?
All right, I got 2 quick things. I'll make it fast. Do you think Zack Martin played his last snap?
I hope not. I hope not at all. I hope he has not. Yeah, but. We'll see.
Agree.
He didn't answer that question. He said this isn't the time to talk about it, which didn't sound great. But I think it's time he's got to feel see how he comes back from the injury, how he feels, and he'll make that decision. I think the Cowboys would work with him for him to come back and play. It's got to be the right terms for him. I really hope that's not his last play. I hope not.
Okay. If it is, do you have a play that sticks out that defines Zack Martin to you? Kind of like how, Larry Allen has that play from his rookie year or something along those lines? God. Anything that sticks out in your mind? Or is it just the fact that he was just so solid forever?
Yeah.
I think the stats stick out to me, less, was it holding calls and penalties and whatnot? So
more Pro Bowls than holding calls. I mean, that's unbelievable. More Pro Bowls. I think 9, and he's had 6 or 7 holding calls in his career. It's hard to do. I think of a screen pass against the Lions. It probably was like 3 or 4 years ago at AT&T Stadium, and I have to go back and look. I don't even remember the guy with the ball. Honestly, it could have been Zeke. It might have been Tony Pollard. And I just remember him out there leading the way, and I just thinking how awesome he was, how he is. That's just one that I remember, but not a ton of. He just kind of solid. He just did his job, He could do whatever you wanted him to do. He could play tackle if you needed him to. He was a leader. He just kind of told it like it was. It never caused any problems. It's just. If he's done, he's going to be missed, man. He'll be missed this year, but he'll be missed by a lot of people if this is it for him. I hope it's not, though.
I agree.
So,
all right. Well, I'll let you go. I appreciate it, Nick.
Zach, thank you. Appreciate the call all the way from Germany. And good show, guys. Good week of shows. Shout out to Robbie in Cocoa Beach, Florida, and also Chicago. Josh from Chicago. I just wrote down Chicago. Josh from Chicago. Both of you guys, all week long, getting in, having some questions. And it wasn't the same stuff too, but bringing some different things to the table. Really appreciate that. So good week. Hey guys, let's see what happens Monday night. Cowboys and Bengals. We'll talk about it on Tuesday for sure. Have a great weekend. So for Chris Beam, I'm Nick Eatman. We will see you next Tuesday morning on Cowboys Storyline.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!